Why does every guy cheat on you? Trust me, I know. How come girls always call you their friend? I can tell you. We'll talk about your strengths and we'll talk about emotions. Secrets of Birthdays, now live for purchase. Check out yours at secretsofbirthdays.com. Namaste, and welcome to Soul Horoscopes Orbits Edition from my webcam to yours. I'm Christopher Rayman Witecki, your astrologer and soul biographer, here to help you put the pieces of your karmic story together. Well, the sun is in Libra. In fact, we're about halfway through the Libra transit. We'll move from step 13 to step 19 this week. We're focusing on human relations with the sun in Libra, our own relationship to ourselves. We're trying to negotiate peace, and we're stuck in a grand square. But we'll make some progress this week with that grand cross. Emotionally, it's pretty intense. It starts in Scorpio, then we have Love Fest on Tuesday with the moon in Sagittarius. Then it gets really serious again for 2 days in Capricorn. We got to make some serious decisions. Then we're thinking about the future or feeling about the future this weekend. The moon signs most affected are Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, and Aquarius. And the moon signs going to the dark side this week are Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and Leo. Now looking at orbits, man, how our own chakras are affected. The moon, of course, is going to affect mostly the throat chakra this week. That's bringing yellow light to the blue light. It also goes up into the third eye, and don't be surprised if you don't have some crazy dreams. The sun is orbiting our throat chakra as well. So literally, we're getting things all around the throat, all around protection, all around that kind of feeling of choking us up, right? And then Mars is causing heartache to some degree because it's orbiting the heart chakra. So if there's any kind of heart loss, it's a bit more painful than usual right now. Looking at the planets, that trine from Black Lilith up to Saturn means that as you take responsibility and draw emotional boundaries with yourself, you will immediately see old karma cut away thanks to Black Lilith. And Black Lilith moves to step 13 this week, which means we're seeing a whole new reality. Now with the Grand Cross or Grand Square, it will begin to shake loose just a little bit. The sun is out of Black Lilith's grasp, but now is in the grasp of Jupiter. And then at the end of the week, we're going to see the Grand Cross hit kind of a climax. And then, of course, the Grand Trine with Black Lilith, which is saying as you draw emotional boundaries with yourself, you cut away from negative karma, and you move on to your spiritual path, which is a good thing. Zooming in, there's a party going on in Scorpio. Mercury has now joined the Scorpio party. The moon crosses this party this week, and of course, Venus is at the top. So we are focusing on the small details of trust, being responsible on the mid details of trust, and dreaming about the high details of trust. And of course, I'll have all those details of trust when you get upstairs. But before we talk about you, let's grab the Ascension elevator, shall we? And head on upstairs for a bird's eye view of you.
Folks, this is your captain speaking. We realize you have a choice in the astrologers you choose to fly with, and we'd just like to thank you for flying with Christopher Witecki.
Namaste, Cancers and Cancer Risings, and welcome to 33,000 feet. Well, we have a lot going on right now. The planets are held up in a grand square or grand cross, as you probably saw in the introduction. And for you, this is a real tug-of-war in 4 points of your life, primarily how you feel about things in general. This is true for Cancers and Cancer Risings. How do you feel? What is your home like? What's the right foundation for you? What's pulling against that is moving ahead with career, moving ahead with legacy. At the same time, the universe is putting weight on you to get stronger. So it's like they keep putting more weight on what you have to do, but you can't move forward with the career and you can't move forward with feeling better. That's the grand square. And on the other side, all your relationships. Pluto in Capricorn saying your marriage to yourself is a new day. The way you respond to yourself is a new day. Therefore, every relationship on the planet is new, or will be new, or will operate under new beliefs or new operating. So from that perspective, as we start off this week, we're moving from the focus of just emotion in general, how you feel, your patterns and your issues, to moving into reflection. Reflecting on what kind of pond, what kind of foundation do you really need to feel good in the first place? What kind of home family foundation do you need? And you're going to explore your moods, your mood swings, and your mood histories. And I use this for every single sign, by the way, not just Cancers when they have this. Everyone is moody, everyone. So this week the sun moves from step 13, which means some sort of a breakthrough or a shift in the home and family on Sunday, to the following week, changes in your lifestyle at home and changes with the way you respond to your own feelings. So a real shift, taking action and moving forward with what you've learned so far. Now, Saturn in Scorpio is where a lot of this work is. It has to do with your relationship to your own inner child, your relationship to your own heart. And in this relationship, your thoughts are very much on love and past creative ideas or creative stories. So if you're a person who does film or TV or writes books, your mind might be on that right now too. So your mind is really sweeping across this week what your heart wants. And because of Mercury retrograding, your mind's going to sweep through what your heart wants 3 times in 2013. So this is the beginning of a lot of thinking. But this is really key. You cannot allow yourself to fall into the old inner child relationship. You can't allow yourself to fall into the way you felt growing up. You can't allow yourself to fall into the, oh, I'll never find love. You must love and trust and hold that emotional boundary that your heart can have what it desires, and allow yourself to begin to heal. At the same time, Venus at 28 degrees is planting seeds of what your dreams will be and what your heart will have, but Saturn has some time to get there. However, you are feeling it and planting seeds and saying, universe, this is what I want. Then lastly, probably affecting you the most is Jupiter in Cancer. Now, Lilith is also in Cancer, and the good news is the old ego fights, the old warfare, the old pride issues are dead forever. And what you're trying on this week is operating in the world with no pride issues, operating in the world with no problems or no chip on your shoulder. It's going to feel weird. And with Jupiter at 18 and 19 degrees, something in your life is challenging you to step up, to act differently, and to stand taller or be stronger. And that's the part that's putting all this pressure on you to be strong. So this week, there's a few things I want to kind of put out there with the long-running planets. For one, with Jupiter, the part of you that's working on ego and strength, this part needs to love and trust and just allow yourself to step up, just take baby steps forward to be stronger each day. At the same time, Black Lilith says, do not slip into the old self, do not slip into the old ego issues or way of acting out, etc. Saturn in Scorpio says, do not fall into the childhood drama. Do not assume that you are not falling in love. I mean, don't fall into any poor me, any inner child poor me stuff. That has to end and heal. Uranus at 10 degrees says, believe it or not, no changes with the career strategy this week. Okay? None with the career strategy this week. And Neptune at 2 degrees says, hey, when it comes to learning, be compassionate to yourself. Just let it be okay that you don't know. Let it be okay that you will know, all right, in time. So on Sunday, some sort of breakthrough, a quantum breakthrough. The moon is in Scorpio, so your inner child is very much on the line and maybe feels very sensitive or vulnerable. And with your inner child vulnerable, you're having to understand what your emotional needs are. That's, remember, what this whole month is about, your own emotional needs. Creating the foundation, the home and family emotional pot for your soul garden to grow and bear fruit. So on Sunday, there's a breakthrough. You understand what your inner child needs, I think, for the first time, and you understand the emotional responsibilities necessary to keep the child there. So Sunday's an interesting spiritual day. On Monday, the moon is still in Scorpio, so you're still feeling inner child issues, but it's a pensive day, it's a cloudy day, and what you're thinking about really is still what you're thinking on Sunday. You're still processing what does my inner child need, and you're processing what are my emotional needs, what kind of family or situation do I need. Now, Tuesday's Love Fest Day. It's the most loving day of the month. The moon crosses over Venus in Sagittarius. And Venus in Sag for you is helping you open up at this point to new lifestyles. So you might be feeling a new day break. Love Fest Day might be for you, wow, life might actually can change. May actually possibly can change. And of course it can, and of course it will. And the sun will reach the Sagittarius vibration after Thanksgiving in the United States. But what it's important for you to know is this feeling of love in the moment and feeling joy in the moment, what you feel on Tuesday can be forever. So you want to just remember that, and I'll send out with text for those who are watched over. On Wednesday, Neptune rules the day, and so it's a spiritual day, and you're logging in, to understand maybe taking a different approach to yourself, maybe taking more of a compassionate approach to yourself, maybe asking God and universe for support, Mother God or Father God for support, but you're really logging in and trying to figure out and make a decision. There's a home or family decision looming on the horizon here on Wednesday, and that's really what you're on your hands and knees praying about. But you really should, or do yoga if nothing else, something spiritual to kind of ground you. On Thursday, Saturn rules the day, so it's time to decide and commit. You're going to find that you have to make some sort of decision about your home, your family, or a child or children. The moon is in Capricorn, so your feelings about yourself are maybe quick to judge. So be careful not to judge yourself. Be careful to be the new Mirage to yourself, and you're going to have to let go of old failures and old letdowns that you've let yourself down. So Thursday is hard because you're making some sort of decision about yourself and your own emotional needs, and you have the past in your face. All right, so it's a toughie. On Friday, the moon moves into Capricorn, and so emotions are going to still be very sensitive to relationships and to partnerships and to marriage and balance. And in that sensitivity, the universe is calling for you to take action and do something for your own emotions. So Friday is a sensitive day. It's a very private day. Your friends or relatives might be around, but you really should just focus on your needs. That's part of the lesson, is to be there for yourself emotionally first. Then on Saturday, this is where things kind of almost get tested. It's a bit of a tested day. On the one hand, you feel like you know what your emotions need to be, and you are probably forging ahead with emotional needs, home, family, foundation needs. On the other hand, though, Jupiter in Cancer is pushing you to be stronger, pushing you to act out and take action. So you're wanting to be strong, but you're also wanting to be sensitive. They're kind of opposing energies. And so for yourself, you have to let them live independently. You have to let them find their synergy between each other without any problems, and let them co-live side by side. So Saturday is kind of a test of faith. And the moon is in Aquarius, so emotions get very vulnerable on top of all of it. So you are sensitive, you're emotionally sensitive, you're easily triggered, and what you're doing is you're allowing your strength and your emotions to really live on separate teams within you, but not be at war. That's really the key. So taking a quick peek at next week, really 2 days I think are most important. Wednesday, a light bulb goes off. You really understand, I think, Wednesday to Thursday, what it is you need to have in the Home and Family Foundation. And then the full moon, which affects Cancers and Cancer risings probably the most on Friday and Saturday. This will be a tug-of-war between your career issues and your home family foundation issues, and one is going to have to win over the other. Of course, we're hoping it's home family in this point. Remember, career will just kind of maintain. So that's a quick peek. So let's drop down to earth real quick for a couple announcements, and then I've got your Serious Joy toy after this. At Soulmart.me, we have prices and specials worth jumping for. Like the Guardian Agency, our digital network that'll watch over you through email 7 days a week, 7 times a day. Come join our free open house next week. Just navigate to soulmart.me. While you're there, fill out your date of birth and email address in our custom form, and you'll get 7 days free. No credit card required to sign up. Come on down. And while you're there, you might want to also check out the Orbits Report and Jupiter Gets Emotional. Now just $11.11 for a limited time and for immediate download. At soulmart.me, mind, body, and soul improvement. Parachute not included. Hello, Cancers and Cancer risings. It's now time for the Serious Joy toy. And if you remember from last week, this is where I give you a little game to play with in your head, with yourself, and this will actually get you to your goals. I've been designing these for a long time. They're part of my class structure in AMIT, but I'm giving it to you for free. Here's your Serious Joy toy. Now, last week, I said, try writing the perfect childhood. What if you could rewrite your childhood? What would it be like? What kind of childhood would you give yourself in this new case? Well, we're going to build on that Serious Joy toy this week. With this week, I'd like you to role play and be your own Mary Poppins. You understand? So I want you in every moment to play both roles. On the one hand, you'll be at work and need coffee. And then on the other hand, you're Mary Poppins. And what do you do when you need coffee? What do you do when the little girl that Mary Poppins is watching over, or the little boy, does when it needs coffee? It definitely breaks into song, I'll tell you that. So it's a spoonful of sugar all week for you. And what this means is you want to role play Mary Poppins in your life. And anytime you get sad or upset or whatnot, you want to ask yourself, what would Mary Poppins do to me in this case? If you haven't seen Mary Poppins, my goodness, Cancer, Cancer rising, go out there and see it. That's your serious joy toy for the week. All right, my crabs, that's all I have for now. I love you. Namaste, and live, love, be. Seen all of that? Like you're like a booger thrower? Is what you are? You're one of those?
Mud pies.
Okay, fine. Mud pies, boogers. Pick your goo. But whatever it is, you're a goo thrower. You throw goo at people. I know it. And you know, I know those little goo throwers. They're always cute. You can see inside their heart is good as they're throwing a spit wad at you. But as the target of the goo throwers, I just have to say, it's not fun on the receiving end.
But we always clean you guys up afterwards. We never leave you high and dry.
Lick you clean.
That's true.
At least I
Strangely enough, the goo throwers do turn into people that get you high in high school. You're right. You're right. That is an interesting arc of character development in the United States anyway.